guys, welcome to the Summer Shape Up Survival Series. I hope that you are enjoying the series of videos that I've sent out to you and that it's helping you to keep motivated and on track over the summertime. These are workouts that you can do anywhere at the cottage, in your backyard, at home, on the beach, and you can do some modifications so you don't necessarily always have to use the weights. You can get a dumbbell or a kettlebell, and then obviously the tubing and the banding, so it makes for the perfect and easy workout with very, very little equipment. So I hope you guys are doing awesome with that and that you're enjoying the workouts. Today I wanted to talk to you about nutrition and how to, I guess, survive this summer with your nutrition and your food and the choices that you're making throughout the season, because it can be challenging. I know for myself it can be challenging as well with all the barbecues, the patios, get-togethers, and it just seems like there's constantly food around us all the time. There's drinks, refreshments, that type of thing. So the tendency to go off of our diets is a little bit higher than normal, and we just want to indulge and have fun, right? So I'm going to give you some tips today, actually 5 tips that I want to share with you that hopefully you can use on a regular basis, not only in the summertime, but as well year-round. That's going to help you stay on track with your nutrition, and that way you can enjoy and be able to indulge a little bit, enjoy the summer without having to restrict and to worry about gaining weight or going up in the scale or in your pant size, and so you feel comfortable and energetic and vibrant and tons of energy. That's what I want you to feel. So tip number one, I got my notes here, so if I'm looking down a little bit, I don't want to miss anything, so I will be taking a peek at my notes here as we're going along. So tip number one, take some staples with you. Plan your meals ahead of time if you can. Take healthy foods to neighbors' homes when you go for barbecues, or if you're going to the cottage for the weekend, make sure that you stack up on foods that that you're going to eat and that's going to keep you fulfilled. Even for road trips, sometimes we're taking longer than average road trips. If you're traveling for 4 or 5 hours, maybe longer in a car with the family, so make sure that you stock up on quick little snacks, healthy snacks that you can grab on the go in between your healthy meals, so that you're not tempted to stop at a gas station or at a fast food restaurant and be tempted by the foods that they'll have there. So packing snacks ensures that you're never going to be left optionless and less likely to be forced to eat junk food or stuff that you're going to find in the fast food restaurant. So for example, stuff like nuts and seeds, you can make your own trail mix, protein bars, fruit, anything along that lines that's easy. You don't necessarily have to have it packed in the refrigerator or anything like that. Tip number 2, scout out restaurants before you go to find options that align with your preferences. And this is a tip that you can do on a regular basis as well too, not only over the summer, but as well, when you're going out with friends to social events and whatnot, to different restaurants. So I personally always check out the menu before I go, and I always have an idea before I go to the restaurant in terms of what I want to order. So then that way I'm not going up and down the menu looking at all the tempting foods. So I have an idea what I want to eat and how I want to indulge, or if I want to indulge for that meal. So when you research the restaurants ahead of time, where you'll be, for example, if you're traveling somewhere, if you research ahead of time, you have a plan and you're more likely to stick to it. It's all about planning, guys. Remember, it's when we feel unprepared that we're more likely to make less than stellar or impulsive choices, right? So if you look back in the past, that's typically what happens. You're starving, you've been on the road all day traveling and driving, and at that point you don't care, and you stop at a restaurant and you get whatever you're craving in that moment. So set yourself up for success right from the beginning. So tip number 3, adjust your eating to allow for a little more indulgences here and there. And I'm not asking you to restrict your calories by a lot by starving yourself all day long so that you can have that burger and fries and ice cream later on. What I want you to do is find what works well for you, But here are some options. So option number one, fasting in the morning and eat your first meal at lunchtime. So basically what you're doing is you're condensing your eating window time. So instead of getting up and eating breakfast first thing at 8 o'clock in the morning and eating throughout the day until about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, what you're doing is taking that window of opportunity of time that you're going to be eating and condensing it. So for example, maybe pushing your breakfast up to 11 or 12 o'clock and having your meals say 12, 3, and 8 o'clock at night. So you're still eating the same amount of food in a smaller window of time. So it just gives your body that chance to burn off those extra calories. And again, you're not going to be eating more calories, or less calories, you're just going to be condensing that window time. Number two, another idea is to eat about 25% less at most of your meals compared to the portion that you would normally eat. So for example, when I'm on holidays, I always tend to I want to try everything, obviously. So I always have smaller portions of what I want to try and try and fill my plate up with lots of fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and healthy fats. So make sure, if you do want to indulge a little bit later on, then eat a little less throughout the day. But I don't mean starving yourself or restricting extremely. Third tip is stretch out the time between meals. So for example, you may not be eating every 3 or 4 hours, say for example, like you normally would do. So maybe you're going to have your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, and you're going to be condensing that a little bit in terms of the calories and the amount of food that you're eating. So keep in mind that there's no magic solution to this. These are just tips to kind of help you get over those times where you may not be able to eat the way you normally are or typically would be. So these are just options that you're going to iterate over the summer during those times and not on a regular basis. So they're simply strategies that you can use to eat a few less calories so that there's more room for those special moments of socializing and celebrating and maybe indulging a little bit. So tip number 4, we're getting into relax and listen to your body. If any of you coach with me, I talk about this a lot, about listening to your body. When you listen to your body, you understand what it needs. And a lot of the times we're we're go, 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 we're on autopilot and we're not even paying attention to whether or not we're hungry, even on vacation. So we have this, this mentality when we're on vacation that this is the only chance to eat junk food for the rest of the year. Therefore, I'm going to pile drive it all in. And I see that a lot when, especially if I've been training women for a while and they're training specifically to go away on vacation, which I try not to encourage a lot. Obviously, you want to feel good on your vacation, but what drives me crazy is when they come back about 5 to 10 pounds heavier because they eat pretty much everything that isn't tied down. So you want to stay away from that. Parties and vacations are meant to be a source of enjoyment, not a source of stress and overeating. So how to do it? Choose a few healthy, effortless habits like the ones I mentioned above that you can focus on each day. A few good ones including eating protein at each meal, making sure that you're getting tons of fruits and vegetables, you're drinking lots of water, even if you're having alcohol. I recommend making sure you have a glass of water there. For every drink you have, make sure you have a big glass of water with it. So it keeps you fuller and you're less likely to obviously feel a little tipsy after drinking as well. Eating slowly and chewing every bite thoroughly and stopping when you're 80 to 90% full. My Mr. Finley is making a cameo here. This is Finley, guys, if you haven't met him yet. Sorry, he's making his little debut. Number 5, tip number 5, final tip is prioritize your indulgences. And again, this is all about planning ahead of time. So vacation isn't about a free-for-all. I want you to keep in the back of your mind that vacation is a time to relax, to rejuvenate, to reconnect with people, whether it's relatives or friends, to, experience, different things, that you normally wouldn't experience. So parties and vacations are positive events. They're meant to be enjoyed. And depriving yourself of your favorite foods and beverages on a regular basis will most likely lead to you binging down the road. So take a moment to figure out what's on your must-have list, the food, the drinks that you absolutely love and that keep you happy and that keep you satisfied. So again, we're not going overboard. So choose that one thing that you really, really want to indulge in and that you really, really want to savor and enjoy. Make those foods and drinks your priority when you choose to indulge and forget the rest. So for example, my tip is I have my 3 vices. So you got the bread basket, you've got the alcohol, I say the glass of wine, and you've got the dessert. So I always choose one of the 3. I always make sure I have a healthy meal with lots of vegetables. Usually it's a salad, a hearty salad, or I could do the salmon with extra vegetables. And I either choose the bread, depending on how good it looks, the wine, or the dessert. I never do all 3. So typically for me, I'm a wine girl. I love a glass of wine with my dinner. It's the way I love to socialize, and I just enjoy wine. And sometimes I will have the dessert, and usually the dessert is meant sharing with somebody else, and I'll have a couple of bites. So I don't obviously restrict myself in my indulgences, but I allow myself to have a little bit in a controlled manner where I'm not going overboard. So I hope these tips help you guys, help you stay on track for the rest of the summer. Keep these in mind, whether putting them on your phone and remembering them. And these are just, different things or different tips that you can use on a regular basis, not just in the summer, but habits that you can continue to use year round. Happy summer, guys. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous summer and you enjoy the moments, you enjoy resting, you enjoy the relationships of reconnecting with loved ones, and just simply enjoy the beautiful nature that we have in the sunshine. Thank you.